Well, talking about Scott Schmerelson, who is District 3 school board member, very active in his position, very committed to the children of the Los Angeles Unified School District, not just to the kids, but to the staff as well. I think he has been
Comparatively, yes.
I believe he was an educator for a little better than 40 years. I'll stand corrected, but I'm pretty close to that. And a very active, supportive board member. And very happy that he's joining us today.
Thank you so much, and I am here.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice words. Appreciate it.
Hello, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's an
So
honor
welcome.
to introduce you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be introduced. Thank you. So I am ready whenever you give me the go ahead.
We are ready.
All right, thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. Well, it's still morning, I guess. Good afternoon and good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sue DeBrin. Thank you, Leanne Woods. Thank you, Diana Duenas, for inviting me today. I am Scott Schmerelson, and I represent Board District 3. I am a member of the Board of Education. I represent 110 schools in 20 San Fernando Valley communities. So I go from North Hollywood all the way over to Porter Ranch. So it's a pretty big area. There are, let's see, 71,102 students in Board District 3. 41,678 of them are on the free or reduced lunch program. So today I have Jeannie Kam, my office director, joining me. Want to wave, Jeannie? Wave? Yeah, there's Jeannie Kam. Okay. In total, LAUSD serves about 650,000 students. 650,000 students, and 1,410 schools, of which approximately, let's see, about 370,000 students are low income. So we are basically a district of low income students. We have lots of work that we need to do. So one of my first priorities when the school was closed back in March was find a way to feed our students and their families, by the way. So within 1 week of the closure, we opened 63 grab-and-go centers across this whole city of Los Angeles. 17 of these grab-and-goes are located in the San Fernando Valley. So the centers now have new hours. They open from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. because many parents have to go pick up food and then come back to start their schooling. So school starts at 9 o'clock. I was instrumental in getting that to be because people are getting different sleep habits and different wake-up habits. And so too early was not good, as I think we all know. So school does start at 9 o'clock. So listen to this. This is the best. LAUSD, as of today, has distributed 65 million meals. 65 million meals to both children and adults in need. 65 million. It doesn't ring in my head. I can't believe there's so many. So this is the largest school-based program of any kind in the whole United States. So USDA announced that they will be extending the flexibilities associated with the summer program through the entire year. So during the summer, you didn't have to show an ID for LAUSD. And then they said, well, when we start here in August, you're going to have an ID, a barcode. And that was going to be a horrendous task. You didn't have one. I lost it. So you're not going to eat? No, we don't. I can't do that. Can't do that. So all our kids and their families are being fed. Now, we have had $8 million in donations from district partners, and we are able to service LA students most in need with children things, baby and personal care items at the grab and go centers. And our recent partnership with Souls for Souls and Foot Locker, we were able to provide shoes to 1,500 children experiencing homelessness. I'm telling you, as a board member, it really opened my eyes to what is going on in our own San Fernando Valley community. You would be just shocked about the things, how people are living and how desperate people are, and how LAUSD is stepping up to help them. So again, I am so grateful to the LAUSD staff who are on the front lines, and they're making this food and supply chain a reality, and it's clearly needed. So for the 2021 school year, our schools must follow regular schedules and provide daily live instruction as in accordance with the law. Another major priority has been to ensure that every student has a device and adequate internet. So, you know, you guys, when we left in last March, we were thinking we'll be back in 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks came, 2 months came, 4 months came, and we're still not back. So we have to make sure that every one of our students has a device. It should not matter, you know, your income or how you live or where you live. Every student needs to have a device. So we have, and by the way, if we knew in March that we were not coming back, we would have distributed the devices that we had, but we didn't know that. So we have now distributed thousands of iPads, Chromebooks, and hotspot devices to make sure that all of our students have the opportunity to learn. So if a student is in need or a replacement of a device, he or she can directly connect with the principal. I'm telling you, I was a principal too. You want to get it done? Call the school and talk to the principal. Oh my goodness, all these numbers you have to call, you can go crazy. Call the principal. Call the principal. They're like me. We help kids, okay? So on the first day of school this year, 88% of the students were able to connect. So you would say 88%, that is great. Well, how about the other 12% who are not able to connect, right? So we have to make sure that they all have devices also. So the district staff did provide round-the-clock office hours so that families can get the one-to-one tech support they need to get connected and learn just like our students with greater familial means. So everybody needs to be taken care of. So district-wide, we are currently around 93% attendance, and that's pretty good. 93% attendance, which is quite an achievement, thinking about all these curveballs that were thrown at us, you know, these last few months. But there's still lots of work to do. We have to get the remaining students engaged. Many of them are students with disabilities or part of our foster homeless youth populations. You know, it broke my heart to see kids sitting around Starbucks trying to get their internet connection so they can do their homework. They should have their own. That's just a terrible way to treat our kids. So each day, our staff are making calls, are sending texts, and even conducting socially distanced home visits to learn how to better support families and get them connected. And I know that our social workers and PSA, pupil services and attendance workers are actually going to the house and saying, why aren't you connecting with your assignments? Because we notice that you have not been connecting. Either they don't have a device, they don't have a phone, they don't have a cell phone. You know, in this day and age, you would say, what? Well, it's true. So that's why we make the personal connection. So families that do need help, we do have a help desk number. I still say call the principal, but we still have a help desk number at 213-241-1300. So all that being said, I want you to know I have spent, as Leon said, thank you, Leon, 4 decades, that makes 40 years, 4 decades as a teacher, as a counselor, as assistant principal, and a principal. And I forgot to add, I worked 5 years in Philadelphia as a Spanish teacher, so it's even more than 4 decades, but let's keep it at that. But I do know that face-to-face interaction with kids around you and kids interacting, that's the way to actually learn. But we have to do that until we can physically return to school. So when are we going to get back to school? I know people want to know that. Well, LAUSD continues to communicate daily, hourly with our state and our public health officials, and we're waiting for that green light to open our schools. So we have started right away to explore hybrid models. And a hybrid model is where maybe half the class would go to school on certain days, the other half would be at home. Then the home kids would go to school for X number of days, and the people who were in school would do synchronous learning or asynchronous learning at home. So it's not easy, but we can do it. I was a counselor during year-round school time, and I remember how I made that master schedule and changed it every day because kids kept coming in and out and in and out. But it is absolutely doable, and we have great minds at LAUSD who can help us with that. So it is unclear right now, everyone, when LAUSD will receive guidance from the county health officials. But even when kids start going back, we are going to have absolutely positively distance learning for those students whose parents feel they cannot go back under any circumstances. Either they are frail, they are ill, the parents are frail, or the parents are ill and they're afraid they're going to bring something back from school and make the whole family sick. So if parents feel it's your right to stay at home and continue distance learning for the rest of the year. So we are preparing for that, just so you know, because I know some of you may have questions about that. So what are we doing to prepare the classrooms for going back? It is so amazing what they're doing. They have this something spray. I watched it's electrostatically ion spray that they spray into the classroom. The mist falls on everything, every inch, the floor, the chairs, the desks, the books, the pencils, everything is covered with this mist, and it is a disinfecting mist. So this is what we're doing in every classroom. Every single school has air conditioning, as you know, and all the filters have been upgraded to the equivalent of an N95 mask. So we have these running. Now, these filters are running 24 hours a day. So don't get scared. The air conditioners, the compressors are not running, but the air flow is running to make sure that the room is being cleaned 24 hours a day. And we also have what they call PPE, personal protective equipment to all of individuals at the campuses and classrooms. If you've seen them on the news, they have been reconfigured to keep everybody at a safer distance apart. We have plans for hybrid instruction that will keep students and teachers in a small cohort to limit the risk of spreading the virus. So the same kids stay together all the time. No new additions, they stay together, and that way we can control who may be ill and who is not ill, okay? So this hybrid model consists of both in-person learning and online instruction. So the district is working on a balance between the learning needs of our students and the health and safety of our community. But we do know that the overall health condition needs to get better. And we do understand that students with special needs, English learners, foster youth, and homeless students are among the most vulnerable at this time of distance learning. And it's for that reason that the district and our Division of Special Education team are working to develop a plan and communicating with LA County Office of Education. You know, we're all together under the Office of Education in LA County before any decision gets made and before we start bringing students back to our facilities. So many of you have read that LAUSD has started a program to provide childcare, free childcare, for the children of LAUSD employees who currently work at a school site. And with over 3,000 children enrolled, we will be one of the largest free childcare operations in the whole country. So we're the top of everything. So these children, again, will be in small cohorts of no more than 6, and they'll be together with 6 adults. They'll always remain together to make sure we maintain healthy conditions. Everyone must be tested before they begin the program, and we are implementing testing and contact tracing program that will serve as a model for our ultimate return to school. And I was tested the other day at Madison Middle School with the swab. Thank God they let you put the swab yourself in your nose. I don't want anybody poking me in my nose. I can do it right. My eyes started watering. In fact, Jeannie was with me and she says, I know you hit that spot because you started tearing. So you do it yourself. It doesn't hurt, really, because you're doing it yourself. And I was tested Friday, and it's usually 24 hours, but it was Saturday the next day, but I got my results Sunday, negative. So you can come near me, everybody. I'm negative. So I want this program to roll out safely, but we do have the capacity to do so. I really want to see us expand childcare to support those parents who don't have the opportunity to work from home, okay? So our district will be offering one-to-one tutoring for students who need it most. This will take place outside with students and adults at a safe distance apart. Everybody, again, will be tested for the virus before they participate in the tutoring program. I just want you to know that no employee can go to a district office without being tested first, just so you know. So scheduled to reach testing levels of 5,000 people per day. Approximately, the aim is 20,000 people per day. So this is going to be a big thing. Our agreement with the testing providers allows us to increase the numbers of tests to 40,000 a day, which we plan to do when it's safe to return to campus. So that's what's happening with COVID-19 in our schools. And let me just give you a couple of Board District 3 updates. So I am excited to share that, again, our first virtual Student Advisory Council meeting this year took place on September the 23rd. So Board District 3 is the only board district that has a Student Advisory Council that has a student from every single high school in Board District 3. Okay, and it was always live. It was always in my complex. We had dinner for them. We had snacks for them. We played games. We made it so great for the kids to come, and they loved it. But now, you know, it's virtual. So we're having virtual snacks together. So the council gives these students the opportunity to learn more about LAUSD, about its instruction, its operations, its policy, and it provides them with something very special. Me. They give the feedback to me, and I am able to actually act on their feedback. So this year we have over 50 student representatives from 18 high schools. Very, very proud. Also tonight, I'm co-hosting with Assembly Member Jesse Gabriel from 4 to 5:30, and it's a webinar called Applying to College COVID-19 Edition. And this meeting this evening at afternoon from 4 to 5:30 will feature reps from CSUN, from Pierce College and LAUSD, as well as first-year college students who happen to be Board District 3 graduates. So what's better to hear from kids who are in my committee and now went to college and talk about what it's like to be in college for the first time. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share all these updates, and I'll be happy to answer questions. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with all these statistics, but that is LAUSD, and it's a big, big place, but we are serving the kids and we are serving the community, and I'm just so proud. I'm so proud to be a board member here and get all these things out in the forefront. We are the model for the whole United States, the model. So I'm ready. Mr. Woods, I am ready for you. You're on mute, Mr. Woods. I do that all the time, every day. You're on mute.
If I could add real quick too, before Leon gets on.
Principal Mayorga.
Yeah, hi, Board Member, Mr. Schmerelson. I just want to tell you guys too, it is evident that he values his job and supporting the schools. He comes out to schools daily. He comes out, he supports us. He is obviously the board member for my school. I really hope he gets reelected. He has just been instrumental in making sure that we have the things we need, and I'm never afraid to reach out to him if there's something I need or my students need. He's just been really great at responding. So just
very kind. Thank you, Elizabeth. I also see Laurie Vallejo. She was my teacher at Lawrence Middle School when I was principal at Lawrence, right? Yes.
Yes, that's correct. So I certainly support Scott, and not only when he was my principal, but as he's continued on in his career and now as the board member. Even though I'm in a different board district with my current school, I live in Mr. Schmerelson's board district, and I support him 100%, and I hope everyone will too in this upcoming election.
Very sweet. Thank you, Laurie. All true, by the way, but very sweet. Thank you.
I might add, I just, not to write on the coattails of what was just said, but when Mr. Schmerelson is on the streets, visiting a school, always walking with purpose, multitasking, the hour of the day doesn't seem to be important other than the fact of meeting the appointment and the event in a timely manner. So thank you for what you do, Scott. And thank you, Betsy, for bringing up the fact that, yes, I too hope that he is reelected. Anybody else have any questions or anything they would like to ask Scott at the present time?
Thank you.
At this moment?
I do.
Diana has a question.
I have a question. So, first of all, thank you, Scott. You are very informative and very, just as a community, in the community, you are out there, you are always willing to come speak to us, and we really appreciate that. So my question is, what can businesses be doing right now to help the situation? You know, we're all smaller to medium-sized businesses for the most part. We all have our own challenges right now, but how can we help support students? How can we help support our schools? We, the Chamber, has always done our year awards. We needed, there was conversation, there was the ask. For me personally, I'm kind of lost going, okay, I ordered a new computer student, but what to help?
Yeah, we especially appreciate Diana Encino because they've always been good at connecting with our schools to resources. They've always been supporting teachers, and that is true. But now we're in COVID-19 times, so we are still grateful for our community partners as we meet the needs of our students and families. And we acknowledge the challenge that our families and our community businesses partners face. So, you know, what can you do? Well, continue to develop and maintain a relationship with our neighborhood school, community of schools, local district. You know, everything we do on distance learning, and you still can be connected without actually being there in person. You know, all of our COS's, community of schools, have town hall meetings. And we will be happy to inform you and give you the link to these town hall meetings. You could be engaged and involved with your school in your area. We have community collaboratives. You can meet virtually with the principal of your neighborhood schools. you can support the students now upon returning to campus, and you could be a guest speaker in a class. You know, you can get permission, of course, for the teacher, be a guest speaker in a class, at a career fair, participating in school events, virtually, of course, and even attending coffee with the principal. Of course, this is not the same as when you're there in person and seeing everybody's faces, but that's how you can continue to help, by doing it virtually. And I'm going to task Jeannie with letting the Encino Chamber know when these meetings are and giving you the link, and when you're able to get on to these meetings and be part of the school like you've always been all these many years. So thank you for that question, Diana. Thank you.
Can you just tell me when you're done? Oh, okay.
Leon, you're on mute.
Muted.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Scott? I have one we touched on briefly. It concerns myself, I'm sure many of us, with the kids doing homework in businesses, the likes of mentioning Starbucks, or I recall seeing on the news students finding a comfortable place the best they can in a parking lot to be able to connect with Wi-Fi to get their homework done. Knowing that the distance learning process is in the works, in play, where there should really be no interruption and accessibility to Wi-Fi should be strong, available. What can we do to assist in making sure that the students get what they need to those students in those schools that need it the most?
Yes, thank you for that question, Leon. You know, one of the saddest things, like I said, is I don't want to see people sitting outside of a business trying to use their Wi-Fi. They should have their own access as students in LAUSD. So the district is giving connectivity at no cost to the students, and the district is paying for the services, but at a very low and negotiated rate. So any students that requested the connectivity through the schools was provided with a T-Mobile hotspot or an iPad with LTE. The students were provided either T-Mobile or Verizon according to their cellular coverage in their neighborhood. Any student that required a device or a hotspot was provided one. Families should speak to their school. I'm telling you, speak to the principal, or you can always call 213-443-1300. And there is an ample inventory to ensure that schools have enough devices to serve the demand that we are currently employing to services. And now we're working on early education. Since all K-12 was deployed last year, early ed right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes, Mark.
Thank you. My question is, if the schools go back part in person, part virtual, will the teachers have a choice?
Yes, absolutely. Teachers will have the choice of working either at home through distance learning or at school. And you know, there'll be a different ideas. I have an idea as a counselor and as a person who programs. You know, I would like to see for my high school kids, for them to go back to school for the what I call the solids, certain English, history, and math solid courses. And then the home portion should be those courses taught virtually that are specific to a certain group. French 3, advanced Spanish, things like that can be arranged at home synchronously with a whole group of teachers tuning into a whole group of students, tuning into one teacher. So there's lots of ideas floating around. I have mine. Other people have better ideas. I may have some good ideas too, but we're constantly working on how this is going to work. But yes, just like students do not have to go back to school, if their parents feel that they are not ready to go back, teachers do not either. They can work from home. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. I personally think the most important person in the classroom is the teacher, and I want to make sure they're being taken care of as well as the students.
Well, with me around, you don't have to worry about that, Mark, but I thank you. And Mark, let me just tell you too, I have to mention to you too, you know, our principals, my goodness, I don't think they ever worked this hard in their entire lives. I never worked this hard in my entire life. It's like 24 hours a day. It's like all day long, from day to night, fixing things, handling things. But we all work for LAUSD and we all do our job. So I have to credit my principals too. I was one of them too.
Yeah, I have to say you all of you are doing such an amazing job just being flexible, figuring things out. I mean, thank you all. Thank you to the principals, the teachers, the board members. I say that as a community member, but also as a parent. You know if I have a problem, I can call the principal or I can send her an email and she responds. So it's greatly appreciated on every level.
Let me add one more thing, Diana, you reminded me. We have lots and lots and lots of classified employees working at the schools many of them are frontline workers, not only the custodians, the building B&G workers and the plant managers, but I was speaking to my library aides who I support 100%. So my library aides told me that parents can check out books from their individual schools. So how do they do that? They call the school and they ask to speak to the school librarian. That's one way. The school librarian will get the book out of stock, have it in the main office and ready for pickup. And the second way is, I am told, I haven't tried it, I am told that in Schoology, there's a block to check to say, I would like to borrow a library book from the school, and you can all do it online. You could do it through Schoology or you can call the school, and kids should be considered essential readers. I mean, if you stop reading now, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine if kids stop reading now. So library books are available from every one of our schools. Just ask for them. Ask and ye shall receive.
Wonderful.
Great.
Does anybody have
Okay.
any more questions? Sorry, Leon.
That's quite all right. You just read my mind.
Yeah, I think that the people are just so overwhelmed with all the information about what LAU is doing that it's going to have to sink in. Now, Jeannie, did we put up my email address and my phone number? Now, if you don't like emailing and you like to talk to people, my administrative assistant answers the phone all the time. And well, that's one. That's for the newsletter. Yeah, that's true. You can also do that code with a camera, and those are my handles. But we also have a phone number to call. I don't know if you have that slide, Jeannie. There it is. There it is. The phone number is 213-241-8333. It will be answered by a real live person. Sometimes we need to talk to people. A real live person, and she will get anything that you say directly to me. And if you don't feel like talking to anybody, that's okay. There's my email, scott.schmerelson@lausd.net. All calls are answered within 24 hours, just so you know. I'm sorry, all responses are within 24 hours. You're answered immediately.
Okay, one more go around for any questions for Mr. Schmerelson.
Well, I don't have a question. I just have a comment, Scott. I think you're doing a great job, and every parent that I talk to really appreciates everything that schools are doing for their kids. And I think the innovations that are taking place are incredible because they were never thought of 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's true. We had to really think on the job. You know, at some of my schools that we had kids that they called them the OGs, the original gangsters. Well, I am the OSB. I am the original schoolboy. So anything that has to do with school, I love. I am the OSB. I am your original schoolboy. And I see Melanie's laughing. You know what I mean? I am. Yes. So don't ever hesitate to ask me anything about school. Don't worry about asking for help. It's fine. No matter who you are. I don't care who you are. Just ask.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank
I also
you.
want to extend, just before we end the meeting, we want to acknowledge Jeannie.
Oh, yes.
Her visibility and her contact and her reception to phone calls as though it could be the end of the day, but when she picks up, it sounds like it's her first call of the day.
I agree.
So thanks to the likes of Jeannie.
Always
in
pleasant.
assisting you.
Always
Good
pleasant.
choice, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you, Leon. I love working. I love going to. Really miss the Encino Chamber Education Committee meeting. I said that to Diana. I'm like, this because that's one that I love. You were in the, down the street, and so I'm so appreciative. Whatever, I'm an extension of Mr. Schmerelson. So what and he cares for his schools, and I feel the same way. I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing. Thank you.
Leon, she's more than an extension. She has lots of experience with school facilities. So when we have things to modify things at school, whether it be buzzers to get in or security or cameras, whatever, Jeannie has that facilities experience. She knows what's funded by bonds, what's not funded by bonds, and she's just a wealth of information.
Wow.
Besides being nice, she has a wealth of information about facilities.
Thank you, Mr. Schmerelson.
True. It's true. I ask you.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Sue, are you still with us?
Oh, I think she's muted.
You're muted.
Oh, I see, sir.
Sue, we can't hear you.
Okay. We'll go back to Diana. Diana, any closing remarks? Anything you'd like to say?
I think I got myself unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Sue is
Oh,
back.
perfect.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank all of you so much for what you're doing. You're doing an incredible job, and we so appreciate what you're doing. And as Diana said earlier, if the Encino Chamber can help in any way to help you folks out, we would love to do that. So thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today.
Oh, our pleasure, Sue. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Scott.
Okay.
So thanks everyone for attending.
Oh, yeah. This is great. Thank you.
So
Thank
great. Stay well, everyone, and look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
All righty.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Jeannie.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say hi also to Diana. I haven't talked to you for a little while since we lost Heather to Nashville. So it's good to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. I didn't know Heather